Hey, it's Kat, and today I want to share with you about this dimethyl sulfoxide, DMSO, that was provided to me by the seller to review and try out. So this is a 300 ml bottle of 99.95% pure industrial laboratory grade solvent. So it is highly polar product, and it is used for things like chemical synthesis or electronics cleaning. It comes in this really sturdy bottle and has a nice measuring cap on it, so you can give whatever dosing you have, and kind of has this neat dripless spout for it, and it helps keep things clean when you are pouring this out. So to demonstrate this for you, what I wanted to do is show you about one of the unique properties it has as a solvent. So I have 2 raw eggs here. One of them I am going to put in water that I'm just going to add some normal food dye to. This is the same food dye that I use to dye frosting for cake. And then the other one is going to have the DMSO in it with the same exact dye. So then what I'm going to do when I have them both mixed up, I'm going to put both of the eggs in there, and I'm going to let them go somewhere between an hour and 2 hours. I just want to let them hang out in there for about a couple hours at least. Now, what's going to be interesting about this, you are going to notice here that the egg that is in the water will sink, while the egg that is in the DMSO is going to float. And that all comes down to density. So an egg has a higher density than water, therefore it's going to sink. Well, this DMSO, it has a higher density than the egg, so the egg is going to float on top. So that already right there is one difference between those 2 liquids. Now let's step away, and I'm going to come back when we're ready to check them out. Now, one thing I do want to point out with this is you will notice there is a very distinct odor with the DMSO. Some describe this smell as like garlicky and some as oyster, but it is a classic DMSO smell. This odor was not so strong though that it was permeating the whole area around me, but once I got right above it and around the glass, that is when I smelled it. Now let's take a look at these eggs. You are going to notice that the egg that was in the water with the food dye turned purple. Yes, just like you're dyeing an Easter egg, it turned that classic purple and uptook the dye. Now, the DMSO egg, you'll notice it didn't. It stayed almost all white. Why? Because DMSO is a dipolar product solvent, like we talked about before, meaning what? It doesn't have a hydrogen atom to donate, so it does not interact or dissolve with certain dyes the same way that water will. So this ends up being a pretty cool little science experiment, and so I love doing things like this. I have a strong laboratory background and a degree in it, and so doing things like this is just makes me happy. One thing you should know, this does have a freezing point of 64 degrees Fahrenheit, so if it does arrive solid, just thaw the bottle in a little bit of warm water, and like anything, you should always handle it with gloves and goggles. Get the appropriate PPE for it, and I hope you got some good information out of this. Have a great day.